Now, are we ready for this? Look in there. That is cheese flan made. There you have it, one of my all-time school dinner favourites. Cheese flan, chips and beans. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing an old school favourite yet again, but it is actually one of my favourites. We're making the old school cheese flan. Fantastic recipe. I'm going to use this tin. Now normally we'd make it in the tray bake, but I'm going to make it in this tin. It's a square tin and it's 9 by 9. It's square. It is a non-stick tin, very easy to use. But the first job, we have to make some pastry. In here I have the usual flour, and I'll just put my fats in and crack on and show you how to make it. Okay, in here I've got my fats. I've got shortening and butter. I'm going in with a pinch of salt, and then we're going to get in here and we are going to give it a mixing up. Just get your hands in, bring it together, finger and thumbs, nice and gently, just squash it in there. You know, and as you can see here, this is not cold butter by any means. It's butter that's been sat on the side. Not to worry, it'll still make a fantastic shortcrust pastry. So nice and gently, finger and thumbs, lift up, squeeze together, lightly, just lightly squeeze together. And then all we do is we just lift up and give it a rub. Lift up, give it a rub, rub it through our fingers and thumbs, and just lift up and give it a rub. It's as easy as that. As you know, you can make pastry in a food processor and takes only a few seconds. However, it takes 10 minutes to clean, whereas you make the pastry in a bowl, it takes 5 minutes and 1 minute to clean the bowl. So this might be a better option. So lift up, give a rub, and what we're after is the consistency of breadcrumbs. Nice and straightforward. Lift, rub, rub through your finger and thumbs. Just lift up and rub. So there we go. That's looking okay. We've got a nice breadcrumb consistency there. Fantastic. I've got a bowl of water and I'm going to add apple cider vinegar to the water. I'm going to crack in an egg and we're going to give it a beating. Just beat it all up. And then we are going to add our beaten egg to our flour mixture. Get it in there, turn over the fork you've been using and stir it in with a handle. And when you've got it mixed in as much as it'll go, we've got to get our hand in and bring it all together. Nice and straightforward this. Just bring it together gently so the dry stuff gets in with the wet stuff and we end up with a really nice workable dough. As you can see, this is a nice crumbly, no-fail pastry. It looks superb. And just bring the ball together, and then we have too much for one pie here. We're going to split it in two. Now you can freeze one half of this, or you can just leave it in the fridge for another project. It's just easier to make this quantity because we use a whole egg. As you can see, it's nice, it's crumbly, well formed. All we need to do is roll it into a dish shape and put it in some cling film. We put it in the cling film, we wrap it up, and then it all goes in the fridge for 30 minutes. Now yes, I've done pastry and I leave it on the side, but recommended let it settle in the fridge for 30 minutes before rolling out. And the idea of rolling a disc like this is just easier for us to roll out. So that's that one. We do the other bit. Just squash it down. Want that little bit of a disc shape. That's it. So that's our 2 bits of pastry. Now, like I say, you can put one in the freezer and one in the fridge, or you can just freeze both. We've got a bit of flour on our board. Now, our pastry's not been in there for 30 minutes. We're trying to move on, get this done quite quickly. It's been in about 20 minutes. It's only a little bit cold. Flour up your pin and we start rolling. Now, we roll, we turn, we lift over. That's the old-fashioned way of making pastry. It doesn't stick to the floor, not a problem. A little bit of flour underneath and a little bit of flour on the pin. Just keep rolling until you've rolled it out. Nice and easy. Turn it over, keep rolling. That's it, it fits our tin. That'll do. All we need to do now is get that in our tin. It's very straightforward. In it goes. Just lift up and drop in. Lift up and drop in. All the way round. Don't make a big deal out of it. If it tears, just patch it up. It's pastry. In we go right to the bottom. Just turn it round. And then we need to stab it with a fork all the way over the bottom. And we're going to do the sides as well. And all that does is stops it from puffing up. We've got to screw up some baking paper. Put that in. Put that in there. And then we're going in with some baking beads. Now you could weight this down with rice or anything. I use baking beads, ceramic baking beads. And then we're going to stick this in the oven at 180 degrees. So you've preheated your oven 180 degrees. Stick this in for about 15 minutes tops. No more, 12 minutes. Keep watching it. And then we're going to take the beads out. Just get the beads out and we're going to put this back in the oven. Now be careful, these beads are red hot. Absolutely boiling. Just watch what you're doing. And then we put this back in the oven so it just browns up the bottom a little bit and dries out the bottom. So that goes in for about another 5 to 6 minutes. Oh, there we go. You can see it's dried out on the bottom. Now I'm going to trim off the sides. You can leave it all on if you want, but it just makes it look a bit tidier if we trim it off. You don't have to. I like the rustic look, I must admit. So there we have it. You can see we've got a lovely flaky pastry. Now it's not puff pastry, but it's a nice flaky short crust. Okay. Here's a valuable tip which people seem to have forgotten all about, or they haven't been taught, and it's essential for this kind of flan, quiche, anything like that. Okay, we're going to be using eggs. We're going to be using eggs for the filling. Now, just give them a beating up, and we're going to egg wash the inside of this, put it back in the oven for a couple of minutes, and it forms a seal on the pastry. It stops all that fluid going through the bottom and making a soggy bottom. But you know, people forget all this simple techniques. Oh, and to be fair, if they haven't, you know, and to be fair, some don't even know. Okay, so it's basically, that's our egg. And all we're doing is we are egg washing the inside of this pie dish. this pie casing. Okay, and that goes back in there. So let's have it on just for a couple of minutes, just to seal up that pastry. And that is it. We can put our wet contents in there and we will not, or should not, have a soggy bottom. So while that's cooking away in there, just putting that seal on there, in our beaten eggs, we're going to put our evaporated milk. Now, evaporated milk is one of the best ingredients that was ever invented, in my humble opinion. You know, that creaminess that's in there is amazing if you're baking. And we want a little bit of salt. Now, I don't want much because our cheddar cheese carries a little bit of salt. What I do want is some black pepper. Okay, and one ingredient which is completely, totally optional: parsley. A little bit of dried parsley. Give it a mix in. Okay, that should have sealed in there. Let's have that out. Okay, so there's a tip for you. That's sealed up quite nicely in there, look. Now, I need to drop this oven down. It's been cooking at 180. We're dropping it down to 160. So, as you know, we're making a cheese flan. We're going in the bottom of there with our cheese. Now, get a good layer in there. I'm using about 150 grams actually. I did grate 200 grams, but this is not such a big tray. We got a decent layer there, look. And then all we do is we pour our mixture in there gently. Get all that seasoning in. Okay, that's going back in the oven, 160 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. So we're in there, set the time. I'm going to set it for 30 minutes, but I'm going to check it from about 20. Off it goes. That's it. Before we cook the heck out of it, I think that's okay. We want to have a little bit of wobble on there. It's come up. We don't want to burn it. Let's have it out. Oh, look at that. Okay, I've got a nice golden crust on there. You could cook it with less colour if you so want. That's up to you. You know, you can brown up the middle and you give it a shake to see if it's wobbly. Like this is still wobbly. Then you take it out to cool down. For me, this is how I like my flan these days. So that is cheese flan made and it's still wobbly. So we have to let it cool down. It will sink a little minute in there, I'm sure. And then we're going to serve it with some chips and beans, the old-fashioned way. Okay, so we have this cooled down sufficiently enough to get it out of this tray. Now, you can see it's wobbling. It will come out. Now, I've had many people say about the flans and things, how did you get it out? Well, normally you wouldn't serve this out, okay? You would serve it in the tray. You would just cut it and take out a slice and serve it. But we are going to take this out of here. Hopefully this pastry will stay solid and we're going to put it on this board. And we are going to use a plate and we're going to flip it. And you can see a perfectly cooked bottom. That is exceptional. Then all we need to do now is try and flip it with this board. This is where it goes all over or crushes. So, and we'll get down here. In fact, we're not going to do it like that. We'll do it like this. There we go. Pastry everywhere. But not to worry. So there you go. That's how you're going to get something like that out of a tin. Let me just clear this away. I mean, that really does look superb. So I tell you what, we're going to cut this while the chips are on. So let's get in here. We're going to come in and we're going to have a whole corner. Oh, that is fantastic. Fantastic pastry. Now, are we ready for this? Look in there. That is cheese flan made. That is absolutely incredible. So easy, so quick, and you can see why all the school meals were fantastic back in the day. That is completely nutritious in there. Okay. There you have it, one of my all-time school dinner favourites. Cheese flan, chips and beans. Let's give it a go. Now this is class at best. Oh, love homemade chips. What is a flan like? The flan is absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Oh, take me back. Oh, that is amazing. Superb. Chips and beans. That is real quality food right there. So that lovely cheese flavour all the way through there, you know. That is absolutely superb. Now, if you can remember eating cheese flan at school, did you enjoy it or did you not enjoy it? Leave a comment. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Catch you in the next video.